I've been making video essays for about a year now, and I've been noticing different pulls of the algorithm. I personally go against it and just get no views, but that's kind of hard to justify sometimes. I've prepared a little list of reasons why I think YouTubers and the audiences are negative. Everybody's a hater. Do you feel that? Do you feel like everybody's a hater at this point in time? I do. The first and foremost reason is that the algorithm rewards scheduled and frequent posting. Let's say you post once a week or a couple times a week. That leaves you with two major options. The first being working very hard to think of something positive, informative, or insightful to say about a topic, which is very hard, especially if you want to say something original. Writing a YouTube script is immensely harder than I thought it would be, honestly. At least for my usual stuff where there's a bunch of sources and I go through multiple rewrites. It's fun, rewarding, not easy. Muy difícil. Unless you're just reading the Wikipedia page like a lot of people do, or doing something nostalgic where just the mere mention of a thing is interesting, you need an angle. Something worthwhile that isn't obvious. Otherwise, you'll just be like, I like thing good. It's good. I like it. You should like it. Here is a basic description of the thing. But you probably only clicked this because you like the thing in the first place. So why am I describing it to you? A lot of guides on how to get big on YouTube recommend saying the same thing over and over. That's what works in the algorithm. It recommends frequent, consistent posting. So, what's quicker and easier research wise? I'm sure you've guessed by now, if it ain't thing good, it's thing bad. Bad thing, bad. Do I have a newspaper? Bad. You don't need very much research to do this. Literally almost none. You just find one bad thing. Very easy to do. We are depleting the world's potable water supply to produce more and more bad thing every second. A lot of actually good YouTubers have talked about how in order to get people to pay attention to a video about an important issue, you have to regrettably make it a personal drama. Let's say the bad thing is a grifter who doesn't even believe their own lies, but they are paid by vampires to push an agenda. Perfect. Most adults who aren't deeply emotional in the specific ways that the content targets can tear that stuff apart easily, off the dome, no prep. This has the unintended consequence of implicitly reifying the idea that politics is a game of personalities. We just need the right people in power, the right talking heads, thought leaders. Gay son or thought leader? No, that's not how it works. Good politics is systemic. Certain structures will always pull bad people to the top and make whoever gets up there worse. Like YouTube. Meritocracy, baby, yeah. Anyway, we are increasingly make it more scarce to be an artist, for example, and receive any kind of paycheck from that. But capitalism has blessed us with new business opportunities. You can get paid hand over fist with just a little bullying, just a little bully the strangers, right? It's free money, very lucrative. If you want to be a rich YouTuber, find a cringe TikTok. All TikToks are cringe. Just open up the app. If you can't find intentional rage bait, unintentional is fine too. Just don't curse, and you can bully the disabled, teenagers, anybody, minorities. Oh, YouTube loves bullying minorities, right? That sells, right? That sells. That is an option, a very lucrative option. Don't forget, you can just press the bully strangers button, like in my comments, for example, and boost my engagement. I will give you a list of pre-approved slurs. What other YouTuber makes it so easy for you? When finding these words for this section, I came across the very funny, but also very problematic in multiple ways concept of platinum star gays.
A gold star gay has never been with a woman. Platinum haven't been with a woman, and they were born by a C-section.
Like, why would you frame birth in that way as like a thing? My favorite has got to be Skippy Poofter. I think that's like an old-timey Aussie slur. Yeah, I mean, you can't be calling people that in current year, right? Like that's got to be outdated. I mean, I don't know. Your toilets spin backwards. Maybe you do that. I don't know what goes on down under. Anyway, so once you have the rage bait, you just got to say, "Wow, purposely bad thing, bad thing, bad." Anybody who watches it is cringe. But if there's a little streamer in the corner, then you can watch it for hours, and you're not only not cringe, you're better than them. The need to post frequently prevents content creators from being able to devote the time necessary to make something more substantial. So the viewers get fed these boosted negative content creators because they can do it so quickly, and then they're looking for the next hit, right? Eventually, it peters out without a satisfying resolution. Onion Boy doesn't go to jail, and you still want the content. So you gotta find a new heel to hurl fruit at. I'm not saying that all tea is bad or something. Obviously, it's not. I mean, didn't Reddit save a cat or something? I don't know. But I question what consuming that kind of content regularly does to someone, or having to sift through all of that awfulness to make something talking about the worst thing you can find all the time. We're all vigilantes. We are vigilante deputies in the panopticon, looking to discipline and punish the baddies. Even though I've never made that kind of content, it seems to me that there's no shortage of strange content online to react to. Sometimes I'm tempted. It's easy. It would probably be fun the first time, maybe 2 or 3 times, to just dunk on someone.
Get dunked on.
Now, generally, I think most reaction content creators pick good targets at the very least: scams, predators, cults, content farms, things that are infuriating and only get dealt with by acknowledging them. People feel powerless in their lives generally. I do. And there's a fantasy of power in this. Life kind of feels like people can abuse you horribly and get away with it, pretty much scot free. I mean, honestly, that is actually true. There is a whole class of people who do that every day. So people take comfort in the idea that, you can do something, you can make a difference, and put Onision in jail by retweeting a YouTube video. Because, like, I really thought he was going to go to jail. I wanted him to go to jail. I still want him to go to jail. Since people feel so powerless today, right? There's not many unions, everything's a monopoly, there's no economic mobility, you'll never have a house. It's bleak. It is a terrible time to be alive. But with a minor e-celebrity, you actually can burn your abuser in effigy. You can finally experience some semblance of justice. I did say why YouTubers and their audiences are so negative, so let's talk about you. In order to understand the audience, we're going to need to perform a little test, okay? What do you see here? What do you see here? All right, answers in the comments below, okay. What about this one? What about this one? Right, there's no wrong answers. It says something about you. We're trying to understand the YouTube audience here. I feel like people's tastes are shaped by what's available, especially younger people, but honestly, everybody. While it may seem ridiculous to think that content creators shape the taste of their audience, it actually goes one step back, or like a web of steps back. It's not linear. The platforms and art mediums shape the artists, and culture and nature and nurture and whatever, everything web, right? But like, if you look at the history of YouTube, the amount of short animated sketches that existed and the audience that hungered for that content diminished in size and kind of went to video game streamers and long form yappers because YouTube changed the way they pay creators. Instead of clicks, they did watch time. And so the longer the content, you know, yapping for 10 hours about the big comfy couch is not really a thing that you would expect outside of the way that YouTube delegates payments. For example, I know a couple people who prefer YouTube summaries of TV shows and movies to the actual shows and movies themselves. Not analysis, just summaries. Presumably, it's more second screenable, but also you can't monetize the show yourself by directly uploading it. Maybe if you upload a few key scenes in between plot descriptions that you add, then you can monetize it. So the platform encourages this freebooting adjacent content. The resulting content is more easily digestible, pre-chewed, which makes the audience pay less attention to it, and they get used to that kind of thing. And they begin to think of entertainment as background content, not something you actively engage with. And they expect that content from the YouTubers who reciprocate that call, and YouTube nudges the creators to make them longer and longer, and the audience gets used to that. It's a web. It is a web of influences. I'm making long form yapping because it's what I watch on YouTube. But I watch it to some extent because there is such a wide variety of it. Some of it naturally appeals to me because YouTube pays you some money to have the time to make stuff like that in that kind of detail, which results in the content existing. And because that's what so many people are making, you get used to watching it and you begin to look for it. It's literally reciprocal. So my liking that goes back to the platform. If this was TikTok, that stuff wouldn't be that popular because you're infinitely scrolling, right? You're not gonna randomly happen on a 20-minute yap sesh and just stick around. Maybe, I don't know. I don't go on TikTok. I don't think that happens there. You get used to that way of browsing and stuff starts to grow on you. Personally, I distrust algorithms. Since the content is in some sense shaping me, right? I'm sitting doing this because of the content I watched, right? It's shaping me. It's having an effect. So you might as well be very intentional about what you watch and not trust the YouTube homepage. Instead trust your subscription feed and your watch later page. Felt like I should mention this at some point in the video, but I forgot to until now. Angry comments have a lot more immediacy for the commenter than happy comments. People, they just burn with hatred when they have an angry comment to write. They burn with passion specifically. So more comments means a higher place in the algorithm, which is another thing pushing bad content to the top of the slop. So there's this reciprocal influencing between audiences, creators, platforms slash mediums, and culture, which encompasses all of those things and is both influenced by and influences all of those things, which it also encompasses. I'd argue so much of the toxicity comes from the platforms that are the most parasitic member of this web, right? Think of them as a spider, perhaps. um, like a big business spider, right? Anyway, like, subscribe, check out my other videos. I do weird music reviews, yap some crap about art and autism or graphic design styles, AI. Also, you can check out my IG down below and see all this art here that's not data moshed beyond recognition. You could get a first-hand look at how different platforms shape how one person presents their art differently. That's your homework. This will enhance your understanding of how the mediums interact with you.
Medium isn't a massage. The medium isn't a massage.
Any understanding of social and cultural change is impossible without a knowledge of the way media work as environments.
Everything we do is music.
The human attention span has changed.
Over and over and over and over and over.